Hello everyone, we are Group 20. The title of our proposal is Start on the Impact of Consumer Preference and Purchasing Behavior on Local Maternal and Infant Brands. I'm Chen Ziyun. Let me introduce the introduction, which consists of 7 parts. In this chapter, I will be diving into the background of our research. We will look at what led us to this study, outline the main problem. We are addressing and detail our specific and questions we aim to answer. A dictionary. I will discuss why this research method and classify some of key terms we will be using. In today's discussion, we will look at how China's booming economy and open internet have led to an influx of foreign brands and capital. This transformation has turned China into a global manufacturing hub. That Chinese brands still struggle for international recognition. In the past, fake products and problems like the 2008 milk scandal had trust in Chinese brands. Now Chinese buyers often choose foreign brands, especially for important items like maternal and infant products. This is a big challenge. Local maternal and infant brands. Let's look at how China's new child policy in 2014 and free trial policy in 2021. More babies are being born, creating a big market for maternal and infant products. Even though the birth rate dropped to 7.52 per thousand in 2021, the market keeps growing. This shows a change in the market, with Chinese brands competing more with foreign ones. The maternal and infant products market has a lot growth, from 1,430.3 billion yuan in 2014 to about 5,050 billion yuan in 2023. China's market isn't as concentrated as in countries like Japan and the US. So there's a big chance for Chinese brands to grow more. People born after 1990 are how the main shoppers, especially the maternal and infant products. We think differently about buying things and parenting, wanting more variety and new ideas. This group, mainly 25 and 35 years old, is driving growth. In the maternal and infant product industry, they care a lot about quality and safety. Global competition is tough for China's local brands, especially in the maternal and infant sector. The challenge is turning China's manufacturing strength into global brand power. In 2021, brands like Red Elephant and Frog Prince saw growth potential. Customer trust is changing due to incidents like the melamine scandal. This study explores how perception of local maternal and infant brands impact consumer preference and buying decisions. This study aims to understand new customer trends in China's local maternal and infant brands market. We explore how domestic product awareness influences local brand choices. The impact of brand origin awareness on buying behavior. The effect of brand qualities include popularity value on consumer decisions. Our research focused on changes in Chinese attitudes towards local maternal and infant brands. Post melamine incident effects on consumer as ethnocentrism on buying local maternal and infant brands. Influence of brand origin on consumer choices. Impact of brand qualities on purchasing behavior. This study examines how Chinese customers influence local maternal and infant preference and features. We are exploring the role of domestic awareness, brand origin, and brand qualities. Strong domestic awareness trends to favor local brands. This research helps companies understand market trends and make better decisions. We aim to connect consumer preference with their purchasing habits, highlighting the benefits of promoting local brands. In our study, we define key terms for clarity. Purchasing behavior is whether buyers choose local or foreign maternal and infant Brand preference is which maternal and infant brands, local or foreign, are favored. Domestic awareness relates to how much buyers know, like local maternal and infant brands. Brand origin refers to where a maternal and infant brand comes from. And brand characteristics are features like how popular, good, and affordable a brand is. Finally, the organization of the proposal comprises 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is Introduction. Chapter 2 is Literature Review and Theoretical Development. Chapter 3 is Methodology.
Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Hongsong. I will show you the part 2 and part 2.1. It's about introduction to literature and overview of theoretical basis. This chapter provides an in-depth exploration of the literature on some of the variables that will be used in this study, starting with an overview of basic consumer behavior theories and research models. The research content of this part has 3 parts. The first part explains in detail the formation of consumer brand preference and the factors that influence it. The second part focuses on the motivations and behavior patterns of consumer purchasing behavior. In the third part, we further discuss the impact of external factors such as personal characteristics and socio-cultural background on consumer brand preference. Finally, based on the comprehensive review of the literature mentioned in this chapter, we will construct a research model and propose corresponding hypotheses to provide a theoretical, empirical, and analytical framework for the research. And the research has 3 research models. The first one is Howard-Schultz model. The core of this model lays in internal factors, psychological activity processes, which combine input or stimulation factors and the external factors into internal factors. The second one is EDK model. It includes 4 parts: information processing program, central control program, decision-making process, and environmental factors. It is relatively complete and clear zero in current consumer purchasing behavior. The third one is Nicosia model. The Nicosia model believes that the consumer purchasing behavior process mainly consists of the 4 parts. The first is the consumer's attitude towards the product. The second is the collection of information and the evaluation of the play. The third is the implementation of the purchase behavior. And the fourth is the information feedback behavior. About the justification of the truth model. Since the country of origin effect affects consumers' overall perception of products from different regions and countries, this paper will further explore the theoretical model from the perspective of nation product awareness. On the basis of the theories and models proposed by experts and scholars from the East and the West.
Next, I will introduce each variable in this study. There are 5 variables, including 3 independent variables, 1 mediating variable, and 1 dependent variable. The 3 independent variables are brand national product awareness, brand country of origin, and brand characteristic perception. The mediating variable is brand preference, and the dependent variable is customer purchase behavior. First of all, the awareness of national products. Because this study is aimed at Chinese consumers, so the Chinesization of consumers' ethnocentrism is national products awareness. Some studies have shown that, in the case of no difference in products quality and cost effectiveness, the stronger the awareness of national products, the more consumers prefer local products, which in return stimulates their purchasing behavior. In other words, consumers' awareness of national brands is positively correlated with consumers' purchasing behavior. Next is the brand country of origin. Because the Chinese milk powder industry has had serious food safety problems before, so it leads to the fact that Chinese consumers are now skeptical of domestic mother and baby products, resulting in a serious decline in the sale of this industry. After looking through numerous papers, combined with the actual situation, it's found that consumers in developed countries prefer local brands, even if the local brand's price is very high. They are also keen to buy local products. While in many developing countries and regions, although consumers do not reject the local products, they will prefer the products of the developed country, which is the stereotypical impression that consumers have about the products of the underdeveloped countries. Overall, country of origin effect has a relevant impact on consumer local brand preference and their purchasing behavior. The last independent variable is brand characteristics perception, which simply means that consumers are interested in the brand after knowing the relevant brand information, which is eventually transformed into purchasing behavior. After checking a lot of information, we found that most scholars divide brand characteristics into brand quality and brand awareness to study their influence on brand preference. And some scholars divide it into brand quality and product cost performance to study their influence on performance. Therefore, this study will combine the view of these scholars, conclude that the division of brand characteristic into brand awareness, product quality, and product cost performance can more comprehensively explore the impact of brand characteristic perception on consumers' local brand preference. The mediating variable in this paper is consumers' brand preference. Why we introduced the mediating variable? Because we read a lot of paper and found that consumers will be influenced by their preference for brands before they make purchasing behavior. As I said above, consumers in underdeveloped region are more willing to buy products from developed country, which is consumers' preference for products from developed countries. Consumers' brand preference affect consumers' purchasing behavior, and brand preference is formed under the joint use of many factors, including country of origin, brand characteristic, and so on. So, in order to better study how the independent variables in this paper affect consumers' purchasing behavior, brand preference is cited as a mediating variable. The dependent variable of this article is consumer purchasing behavior. Consumer purchasing behavior will be affected by many factors. This article mainly studies the impact of the purpose-independent variables on consumer purchasing behavior of local brands, especially when local maternal and infant brands have experienced serious food safety problems. Explore the impact of the independent variables proposed in this article on consumer purchase. Finally, I'll introduce the lecture gap of this study. This paper firstly refers to the traditional consumer behavior frameworks, such as Howard Schultz model, EDK model, etc. Although this model provides fundamental insight into consumer behavior, they are based on Western theoretical frameworks, which are not fully consistent with China's unique culture and market dynamics. In order to make up for this shortcoming, this study adds independent variables that are consistent with Chinese market dynamic, such as national product awareness and country of origin effect, in the hope of better and more comprehensively investigating the influence of Chinese consumer on Chinese mom and pop brands.
Hello, my name is Mao Jiani. Let me describe the research hypothesis of the literature review session. Beside on the literature review, the following hypotheses are drawn. First, by observing the consumer purchasing behavior model and the consumer purchasing decision model, the surrounding environment will affect consumers' purchasing version and the real purchasing behavior of the product. At the same time, relevant scholars concluded in their research that consumer ethnocentrism and patriotism will motivate consumers to buy local products, and national product awareness affects consumers' attitude towards buying local brands or foreign brands, thereby affecting the results of their purchasing behavior. This leads to hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2. According to relevant literature, consumer psychology is significantly affected by the country of origin effect of brands. Sentiments associated with a country can influence consumers' evaluation of that country's products. Both the overall country image and the product country image have a positive impact on consumers' willingness to purchase imported goods and their purchasing behavior. This leads to Hypothesis 3 and Hypothesis 4. Into relevant literature, cognition of brand characteristics will have a significant impact on consumers' brand preference. At the same time, the brand's popularity, quality, and cost effectiveness can be used as variables to measure the overall recognition of brand characteristics. The higher these variables are, the more preferred they are by consumers. This leads to Hypothesis 5 and Hypothesis 5A, 5B, and 5C. By observing the two models, we found that consumers' different perceptions of the brand will form different emotional attitudes towards the brand, which will not only affect consumers' purchase intention but also affect consumers' final purchase behavior. At the same time, some scholars have discovered the positive impact of brand preference on consumer purchasing behavior in their research on the relationship between consumer brand preference and brand choice. This is a close relationship between consumer brand preference and purchase intention. This leads to Hypothesis 6. Based on this research hypothesis, this theoretical model was made. The dependent variable is consumer brand purchasing behavior and the awareness of brand domestic products, brand country of origin, and brand characteristics. Cognition will be used as independent variables, and the consumer brand preference has an impact as a mediating variable.
I'm He Tianzi. Let me introduce the Part 3 methodology. Consumers are classified according to these influencing factors of consumer behavior, so as to analyze the influence of consumers on China's local matter and infant brand performance and purchasing behavior. We selected matter and infant daily necessity as the research object and select 13 brands, including 8 Chinese brands and 8 foreign brands, including food body supplements, diapers, feeding bottles, and toiletries. The research mainly used electronic questionnaires to conduct questionnaire surveys. The survey subjects are family and pregnant women aged 0 to 3. They have rich experience in the use of mature and infant products, and their understanding and acceptance ability are relatively high. We selected the sales from 5 aspects: awareness of domestic products and the countries of brand origin, include the regional characteristic, representative products, economic level, political background, and customs of regional. By the characteristic recognition mainly consists for 3 parts: brand illness, brand quality, and brand cost effectiveness. This article mainly focuses on retail-led brand characteristic. Brand preference is a measure of Chinese local brand preference, with the degree of preference ranging from low to high per purchasing behavior. Survey on 30 brands in the 4 categories of the article. We adopt the principle of combining qualitative and qualitative questions to design the questionnaires. The first theoretical preparation stage, we read literature and books and studied the theoretical basic of the questionnaires and empirical research. The second step uses the electronic interview method to conduct interview with some of the survey respondents. The third step is to test and adjust the questions in the questionnaires and improve the format and order of the questions in the questionnaires. The content of the questionnaires was finally determined.
This study used a questionnaire as a tool to collect data. The questionnaire is divided into two parts. The first part mainly involves the basic information of the interviews, including gender, age, income, city of residence, and educational level. The second part involves questions related to this article. Research-related skills include customers' awareness of domestic products, awareness of brand characteristics, brand preferences, and purchases of local or foreign brands. Prior to full distribution of the questionnaire, a first draft version of the questionnaire was tested on a small representative sample to identify and correct any issues with the questionnaire. There are 4 measuring instruments in this study. Likert scale is a popular survey tool used to measure people's attitudes, opinions of perception. In this study, a 7-point scale was chosen instead of a 5-point scale because it provides a more accurate measure of the respondents' true assessment. Cronbach's alpha examined the readability of the questionnaire. Nominal scales are mainly used for classification and identification of data and do not involve any level or quantitative comparison. Interval scales are used to calculate average monthly income. The first step in the analysis part is to carry out descriptive statistical analysis of the selected samples. First, conduct descriptive statistical analysis of the samples and analyze the collected samples from the aspects of gender, age, city of residence, education level, per capita monthly disposable income. Conduct descriptive analysis of individual characteristics. Next, descriptive analysis were performed on continuous variables. Many types of statistics can be obtained. Its principles are mainly divided into discrete trend indicator calculation, central trend indicator calculation, and description shape curve calculation. At the same time, in order to ensure the validity and accuracy of the questionnaire survey initiated, the validity and confidence of the questionnaire design were verified during the questionnaire design stage. The so-called reliability analysis is the analysis of the stability and consistency of the results measured by the test or skill tool. The so-called validity analysis refers to the analysis of the accuracy of the skill corresponding to the measurement index. That is the degree of argument between the actual measurement results of the measurement tool and the expected measurement target. This article will use exploratory factor analysis method to detect the construct validity of awareness of domestic products and brand country of origin. Thanks for watching.